Let's talk about my September TBR list. So these are all the books that I want to read in the month of September. Honestly, it is ambitious, but you'll see where I'm at with this so far. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video we're gonna be talking about all the books that I want to read in the month of September. Yes, it's a very ambitious TBR, but bear with me, I'll tell you why in a second. If you're new here, my name is Karen. I do a lot of books, fashion, lifestyle content. If any of that is of interest to you, make sure to click the subscribe button. I actually have already read one of the books in this list, and I'm already reading like 3 of them, so it is doable. And this is only my physical TBR. I'm also going to be reading probably some books on my Kindle that I recently decorated with some Friends stickers. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? If you watch Friends, then you probably get all the references from these stickers. Super cute. My Kindle is dead, by the way, because I haven't used it in a while. Let's just start with the TBR because we're going to be here a while. And yes, this cardigan I have worn so many freaking times. I'm an outfit repeater. I own a lot of clothes, but I'm always wearing the same thing. When I become obsessed with a clothing item, I'm just wearing that constantly. I have a lot of energy because I recently became addicted to Celsius energy drinks, which is like a healthier kind of caffeine you can drink. That's not just like Red Bull and things like that. Let's start. It's a very ambitious physical TBR, but I think we can do it. I'm having a really good reading month. It's only September 5th and I've already read 2 books, so we're doing great. So the first book that I have on my TBR, and this is like a mood thing, and I feel like I could potentially get in the mood for this book, but it is a brick of a book. Look how thick that is. This is The Nightingale by Christine Hanna. I've heard a lot of good things about this book. I've heard it's really sad. It's kind of like historical fiction. It's based in World War II. I think it's about 2 sisters in World War II, and they pretty much are living in German-occupied France, and this beautiful novel celebrates the resilience of the human spirit and the durability of women. It is a novel for everyone, a novel for a lifetime. This is a very dramatic book, but if I'm in the mood for something a little bit more intense, I will be reading this. I've owned this book for a while. I kind of bought it on a limp because I saw a quote on TikTok, and I'm the kind of person that if I see a quote on TikTok or a picture or aesthetic of a book and I like it, I will buy it. So I have no self-control. Got this one. Then we've got Lock Every Door by Riley Seeger. I do want to read at least 1 or 2 thrillers this month because I think it's really fitting for the season. My camera keeps running out of storage because I'm a lazy YouTuber and I refuse to buy another memory card. So here we are. I have Lock Every Door by Riley Seeger. This has been on my TBR for a while. I bought this book along with a bunch of other thrillers when I was going through a little bit of a thriller phase. I kind of snapped out of that phase and got into fantasy, and then the Magnolia Parks universe series has consumed my time for a while. I'm gonna read this. I've heard this is kind of like the Paris Apartment by Lucy something. I forgot her last name. This one is about this girl. She gets paid a ton of money to live in this really fancy apartment, and she doesn't even question it. She needs the money and she just moves in, and then a bunch of weird stuff starts happening when she moves to this really glamorous apartments. And it says when a fellow apartment sitter in the building goes missing, Jules begins to suspect there are dark forces at work behind the Bartolomeo's glamorous facade. Digging deeper into the building's past, Jules soon realizes that the Bartolomeo is more dangerous than she thought. Escape may be impossible. I so far have only tried to read 1 Riley Seeger book for a challenge. Not a challenge, a video that I'm working on. It put me on a major reading slump. I'm not gonna mention the name of the book, but we will be trying to read this one this month and see if it's any better. I'm kind of going through a YA fantasy phase right now, and I'm not mad about it because it's definitely a genre that really keeps you hooked and it keeps you committed. So I picked up Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. Saw Haley Pham read this book. She really liked it. I know she likes a lot of YA fantasy books at the moment, and I do really like her book recommendations, so I picked this one up We'll see if it's any good. This is about a formidable outlaw family that claims to be the first among nations, a son destined to lead throws suddenly into power 3 fierce young women and of the Raton, the Queen's premier guard, a legendary street thief leading a mission determined to prove herself, a dark secret that is a threat to the entire continent. Outlaw leaders meets reformed thief, a cat and mouse game of false moves ensues, bringing them intimately together in a battle that may cost them their lives and their hearts. This is about, I think, two love interests, or it's an enemies to lover fantasy. I'm pretty sure about that. And I'm really excited. Also very thick, just like fantasy books usually are, but very excited. The cover though, let's take a moment for the cover because it's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so if you notice in the background, my dog's just playing with stuff in the room. I'm starting to see a trend in this TBR, and that is that I don't have a lot of romance books, which is totally fine. Like, there is romance in most of these books because fantasy books to give you a little bit of a romance glimpse, there's usually romance in them. In some other ones there is a little bit of romance sprinkle in there, but it's not like the main plot. It's fine. We have read a lot of romance, so it's good that I'm kind of expanding my horizons and looking outside of romance. This next book I'm terrified about because I was reading the description. It's gonna be one of those books that it's kind of intimidating. It kind of gave me the vibe that it's gonna make me feel really stupid, and I hope it's not like really wordy and heavy language because I usually don't really get into books like that. But that is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Look at the cover. It's really gorgeous, very like dark. There's reviews from Vogue, The Times, Vanity Fair. It was a really popular book at some point. It's a national bestseller. It says, the influence of their charismatic classics professor, a group of clever, eccentric misfits at an elite New England college discover a way of thinking and living that is a world away from the humdrum existence of their contemporaries. But when they go beyond the boundaries of normal morality, they slip gradually from obsession to corruption and betrayal, and at last inexorably into evil. It sounds really dark. Is it the perfect book for fall? Yes. I'm curious about this book. I have a feeling it might not be my type of book, but I haven't started, so we'll see. I'm terrified. My dog's eating in the background as usual. She just looked at me when I said my dog's eating in the back. I have the only romance heavy books that I'm gonna be reading this month. One of them is A Scene on TV by Meredith Shore. This was sent to me by Forever Pub a while ago, and I started reading it. I think I got like 48 pages in. I don't know why I stopped reading it because it was pretty cute. Abby Jimenez gave it a review. It says it's packed of Gilmore Girl vibes, and if there's something that screams fall and September vibes to me, it's Gilmore Girls. So we will be reading this one. You can even see a little gazebo there, so definitely Gilmore Girl vibes. So we will be reading this one. This is about an emerging journalist that she's dating in New York City. She's done with it, and she has learned that anything made from TV romance movies is that she'll find love in a small town. So she goes to the small town for this piece. She convinces her publisher to let her go, her editor or something, to let her go into the small town to chase a storyline, because small towns apparently are supposed to have really good stories or secrets. Then there she meets a guy. So that's what this one is about. Super cute, should be cute. Also a really anticipated read for me. I did say in my last book haul video that I thought this was a sequel for The Love Hypothesis. Somebody corrected me, and I guess I was wrong, but I sort of have heard people say this, so maybe other people were incorrect as well. So it is a standalone novel called Love on the Brain by Ailey Hazelwood. This book is giving The Love Hypothesis vibes. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about it so far, but I can't wait to read it. So this one's about, let's just read the description real quick. It says, like an virgin purple-haired jetty bringing balance to the mansplain universe, B. Conswazer lives in by a simple code. What will Mary Curie do? If NASA offered Mary her dream neuroengineering project, she will accept without hesitation. But the mother of modern physics never had to colleague with Levi Ward. I'm guessing this is kind of like Adam Carlson vibes. Sure, Levi has the soul-piercing eyes, and sure, he caught her in the powerfully coated arms like a romance novel hero when she accidentally damsel in distress on her first day at the lab. But Levi made his feelings towards Bree be clear. Is that really gonna be her nickname? I hate that. Clear in grad school, archie enemies who work best when employed in their own galaxies far, far away. Star Wars references, of course. Now her equipment is missing, the staff ignores her, and B finds her floundering career in somewhat of a pickle. Perhaps it's her occipital cortex playing tricks on her. But B could swear she can see Levi softening into an ally backwards her play, devouring her with those eyes, and those possibilities have her neurons firing. But when it comes time to actually make a move and put her heart on the line, there's only one question that matters. What will be Consway's do? That's her name. I hate that. Is that a nickname? I feel like that's gonna bother me when I'm reading this, but what a lengthy description for this one. Wow. The next book that I have on my TBR I already finished, that's why it is tabbed. I read the first book in the Shatter Me series. I'm gonna offer my thoughts about it in the reading vlog that I'm doing, and so when I talk about my reading wrap up. But this one is a dystopian novel about a girl that if she touches someone's skin they can die. Pretty much that summarizes it. There's a love interest or multiple love interests, and yeah, it's very, very highly dystopian, so I won't go into detail. But I finished reading this, but this was on my TBR for this month. We've got my most anticipated read for not only the year but this month, and that is the Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I'm already reading this. I'm almost towards the end because I'm also reading this in a vlog, and like I said, I will offer my thoughts about it at the end when I do my monthly reading wrap up. This is, if you don't know, the Inheritance Games is a 3-book series, a trilogy pretty much, and this is the last book. So in the first, just to kind of summarize it for you, this girl gains the inheritance. She doesn't gain it. How do I explain this? So this really old guy in Texas leaves this really random girl billions of dollars, so his entire inheritance. Nobody knows why, and there's a lot of like games and puzzles and things going on. There's a love triangle, 2 brothers. The story kind of continues here. I can't really go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil book 1 and 2 for you, but that's what this one's about. Cover freaking gorgeous. Another book that I'm planning on reading this month will be the last book in the Magnolia Parks Universe series. The cover, I know it gives children's books vibes, but it's not, I guarantee you that. So very thick. I honestly needed a break from this series, so I took it. And this reading vlog won't be coming for a while, if I'm totally honest. I highly needed a break from this series. It was getting really consuming, so much drama, and I needed a break. But this one, it's about the elite London teenagers or like young adults, and there's a lot of drama going on. Magnolia Parks is the main character from most of the books. She is a really rich girl. It's really Gossip Girl set in London vibes, so that's all you need to know. If you're interested, read it. The first book was my favorite, the second one was and then this one, still too soon to tell. This book from my physical TBR, this cardigan keeps like sliding off. The last book for my physical TBR is the Atlas 6. I started reading this book not that long ago, but I took a break from it because I was having a hard time getting into it, but I've heard so many good things about it that I'm gonna give it another try. So this book is about 6 people that get selected by this like secret society to find this like, so technically this library, Alexandrian library, was supposedly burned down, but apparently it really didn't. I don't know, I'm still kind of figuring out what this book is about, but it's 6 people, 6 POVs. That got really distracting for me. I'm not really that deep into the books, so it's too soon to tell also. But the cover is gorgeous and a lot of people like this book, so I will definitely be trying my best to finish this book this month. those are all the physical books that I'm planning on reading this month. I'm actually going to stick to it, fingers crossed, because I am on a little bit of a book buying ban because I have a lot of books that I haven't read. I went through a phase where I was buying a lot of books and then I hit a lot of reading slumps and I wasn't finishing them. So we're gonna stick to TBR this month, fingers crossed. Hopefully we actually do it and I get all these books done. I'm really behind on my reading goal for the year. I'm like 9 books behind right now, but I think we can do it. And if we can, then we'll be pulling an all-nighter sometime soon and trying to finish my TBR. With that being said, let me know if you like this video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Let me know what's on your September TBR to be read list. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Lots of fun videos coming up, so make sure to subscribe. Bye guys.